first time, a cheetah raised in Australia has been released into the African savannah, all in a race to save the species from extinction. Now, her real battle begins. This is Edie, a cheetah born in captivity in Sydney, but destined to be released into the wild in South Africa.
It's an Australian first, like this has never been done before.
Bred at the Wildcat Conservation Centre in New South Wales, Edie's been preparing for this moment her whole life.
That's the goal. That's the goal, to get the cheetahs back where they belong.
On the brink of extinction, fewer than 7,000 cheetahs remain in the wild. The species under threat from climate change, poaching, the destruction of habitat and a loss of genetic diversity.
Edie's genetics are tremendously important. Bringing new cats into the system helps to boost the overall health of the population's genetics.
Journeying the Sydney skies to the South African savannah, 18-month-old Edie steps out into the wild for the first time.
You all right? Where are you? It's your new home.
Edie is the first cheetah ever brought back from Australia, and that in itself is a historic occasion and a monumental achievement.
And fitted with a satellite tracking device, she won't be alone.
We'll be out with Edie frequently, monitoring her movements, seeing that she stays healthy, that she's able to start catching prey on her own, and become a self-sustainable cat.
An Aussie cheetah settling into her new life and helping save her species.
Every cheetah, no matter where it's born in the world, is still a cheetah. It's definitely our responsibility to provide the opportunity for each of those cheetahs to be the species they were born to be.
And straight from the South African savannah to the Sunday Project desk, it's Ben Britton, the mastermind behind Edie's return to the wild. Ben, it's great to see you. Gee, the situation must be pretty grim in Africa if we're having to ship cheetahs over there.
Yeah, look, it all comes down to genetics, really. Like when we set up the Wildcat Centre about 8 years ago now, we brought in some very unique cheetah genetics. And so, like any population, it's about genetic health. And so we're the only organisation that's actually involved in rewilding of any of wildcats back to the wild. So getting her genetics back to Africa was vital for the ongoing health of the population over there.
Survival of the species.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So, if the viewers are confused and they've seen Nikki Britton and Ben Britton, the cat is out of the bag, literally, the big cat. We're cousins.
Oh,
this is not nepotism. This was just a lovely coincidence. We're on the desk together. Isn't that cute? Nan would be proud.
Yeah, not friends for, no little links to get us in here easily.
No, this was it. This was just, maybe Nan worked it out.
Yeah.
But I've obviously known you my whole life, and I know how much you've invested into this program and how passionate you are about conservation.
Now, I said, Nick, don't cry because you're going to set me off. It's been an emotional roller coaster this week, so you just look away from me when you talk.
Okay, all right. It really is such an incredible thing that you've dedicated your life to doing. And I just wanted to know what you felt like when Edie took her first steps out into the wild.
Yeah, look, there's so much that goes into that moment, both before and after, but that's the moment, I guess, as you see on that vision where she steps out and her feet touch African soil for the first time. And so I did my best to try and keep it together, I must admit, in that moment, but it's quite surreal. Even now, watching the package that, you put together here, it all brings all those emotions back, which just really special, knowing that's the first time it's ever been done in Australia. It's quite special.
Do you feel like a proud parent in a way?
Yeah, I guess maybe it's when the kids move out of home, in that moment where you turn around and you love, maybe in some ways, that they have moved out of home, but at the same time, the fact that they are now in the big wide world by themselves and they're not sort of under your care and watch as much. And so, yeah, I think there'd be a bit of some parents watching this tonight thinking, yeah. I know how you feel.
Has Nikki been to the centre? What's she like with cats?
Yeah, look, Nikki has been out to the centre. It's actually, she came out, I remember when, I hope you don't mind me telling this story, on live TV, but it's when we actually got Edie's dad, Duke, and Cooper, our two males in. Nikki often likes to come out because she loves animals and said, oh, look, can I come out and see the cats? And I said, yeah. And I was explaining then, look, the breeding program, the boys are just getting that age where they've got to know a bit about the birds and bees. And I jokingly said, oh, maybe you should go a few words to Cooper, because he's the dominant male. Which she did, and you had a really nice connection. Oh. Cooper's never bred. He's just never... He just does not know what to do with a female cheetah, and so it's all his brothers. So I still don't know what Nikki said to Cooper that day.
Maybe he just likes a cougar.
Well, yeah. He's waiting for Nikki to come back. Yeah.
Not my first cheetah.
Tell us how you prepare, like how did you prepare Edie to go out into the wild? What's the process?
Yeah, look, the way we manage the cats, the wild cat centre is very different to a traditional zoo or wildlife park. I guess we provide a lot of choice and agency for the cats. We have the biggest cheetah savannah of any facility in Australia, and so they live in sort of already like a wild-like state, which is really important because obviously you can't just pick up a cat and open the box and go, your new home, and she's like, oh, bugger me, where am I now? And so those and the phases that we work through are vital for the success of this program to make sure when she gets over there, she's perfectly adapted for life back in Africa.
And if you could describe to us what would be the perfect outcome here, what would it look like?
Yeah, look, well, hopefully now it's the idea is the Maziki Private Game Reserve where she's settled into. We've got the team from the Cheetah Metapopulation Initiative and We Wild Africa over there monitoring Edie, which is a really important part of it for the next little while. She's wearing that satellite collar to make sure that we can sort of track her. We can actually track her from our phone and make sure that she's safe from where she is. And that'll be ongoing for her own safety. And the goal would be that over the next, say, 6 months, she really establishes herself there, and then we could look to introduce some male cheetahs to that reserve, and then ultimately she can breed. And so I might not get you over when we bring the boys in just in case. But that would be the ultimate goal, that if hopefully later this year, early next year, that Edie could produce cubs there, born in Africa, would be another first, and that would be the ultimate goal for us, and so I'll definitely keep you posted on that one.
Aww. Well, if you'd like to help Ben and his conservation centre get more cheetahs back into the wild, you can head to our website. Would you please thank Nikki's cousin, Ben?